In our series of talks, we ask people certain things. For instance, have you ever asked yourself why some people are more likable than others? They seem to have a personality that people like them, whereas others, it's like people don't like them. Then you hear people asking themselves, why do people dislike me? Or why do they like so and so, but they don't like me? In actual fact, in terms of our personality, there are certain behaviors that make people dislike somebody. And there are certain behaviors that people can do that make them be likable by others. And I want us to look at some of this in a sort of a discussion so that we can find out why do some people become likable, if you like, and some people appear like they repel others from themselves. Maybe let's start with the first one, preoccupation with self. Did you know some people are very selfish? They only do things about themselves. They only care about themselves. In everything they do, they only care about themselves. People notice this. They'll notice that you're selfish. You only care about yourself. You're preoccupied with talking about yourself. Everything you do is for you. It's about me. I myself personally alone. Personally. But then you need to extend this to others so they can feel that they are part of you. That they can feel that you care about them. There are also another way that you might find this one is arrogance, pride. Rudeness. Did you know there are people who are just rude? They're just arrogant. They're just themselves. They're in their own world, preoccupied with themselves. And while you are at it, there's the language that we use. Many people don't know which language to use. Like, excuse me, can I? Politeness. You see, the way of communicating with people. While we are in language, let's talk about gestures. You know, people don't know that different gestures mean different things for different people. So you might find yourself that people dislike you because of some of the things that you say, that you do. Let's also try at the same time humor. Humor is very nice. Actually, you can make a joke, and it's nice to make a joke and to create humor. But not everybody likes humor. And humor, and also when they like humor, you have to be very careful with cultural orientation, and religion, and age, and gender. Like men might be very amused when you have some sort of sexually related jokes. But women take a lot of offense, especially if they are not very close to you. And speaking of which, you need also to be very careful. Who are these people? Are they my relative? Are they my friends? Are they my family members? Who are they? And another one is personal space and boundaries. Do you know there are people who don't respect other people's boundaries? You feel that they're intruding too much into you. Everybody needs some space, you know? Everybody wants to feel like, this is my space. I want to be respected. This is where I belong. It's like the English people say, a home is a man's castle. And people want to feel that this is my space. There are two ways you can do this. One, you may intrude into somebody's space. But another way is also when you say too much about yourself to somebody. People may not mind you disclosing anything about yourself, including your confidential issues and secrets. But they also may feel uncomfortable while you spill everything to them. So you have to be very careful with this spacing. So the personal space and boundaries are both respected and go hand in hand. Another way that many people make themselves unlikable is lack of empathy, lack of understanding, lack of compassion. Did you know there's some people who are compassionless? They don't empathize with anybody. They don't take time to understand somebody. People want to be understood. When people, for instance, have lost a loved one, and it happens often, or something, they want you to tell them, this is very unfortunate, okay? And then also be with them. Don't just leave them there. While we are at it, it's the same thing with politeness and forgiveness and apologizing. Do you know there are people who don't know how to apologize? They don't know how to say sorry. It takes a lot of time for someone to be a gentleman or a lady and say sorry. And people want to see that you care. You are compassion to them. You care about them and that you are part of them. Then other aspects also include mistrust, lack of trust. There are some people that you can never trust, even with the smallest of your secrets. By the time you tell them, it is on BBC if you like. They have already broadcasted it. Immediately you say like it's on social media. Did you know? Did you know what happened to him? This guy has enough problems. But in Talk to a Friend, we like telling people, why is Talk to a Friend very important? It's about having somebody who cares for you. And a friend is somebody who cares, who understands you, who is compassionate, who is responsible, who feels that they are part of you. And that person is trustworthy, not lack of trust and irresponsibility. But wherever we are at irresponsibility, the people who are simply irresponsible, they can't even hold your cup of tea or your glasses for you. Before you know it, they are broken and on the floor. When it comes now to other aspects like the way you communicate, there are several aspects that are important, like keeping eye contact. Look at the person, the way you greet people. There are people who simply just brush their hand over you. There are people who don't want to be touched. There are people who feel that this is it. There are people who even don't want to be visited. You know, when you cross yourself, people also cross themselves and they stay away from you. When you open, people also open and they come near you. When you greet us, we extend our heart to greet you. And while at it again, when you smile, smiling says you care about us. You are concerned about us. But when you put on a face that you are like, if you are going to commit murder, we also are fearing because we don't want to be the next person that you are going to murder and the next victim. Then while at it also, let's look at one more aspect. It's good to tell people what you like, but it's and maybe to criticize them. But how do I put it? It's very important for you to be very careful with your criticism. By the way, why do we criticize people? Sometimes we realize that they are making a mistake and we want to correct them, which is by the way very good. But if you overcorrect people as you have criticized them, they reach a point where they look at you as a snob. You are too much of a nuisance. So you have to be very careful. At times, offer advice, but only solicited advice. And then also when you offer the advice, be very careful. I was thinking if we can do it differently, perhaps, can I suggest so that you don't look like you are dictating? And people who are overly critical, nobody even consults them. After all, you only criticize. You are only putting out a fire. So everybody is like, they avoid you. And then don't also be too much to people, even when you do this. And above all, keep your promises. What can we say to all this? And looking at all this, what are some of the things that you can do so that other people like you and that you don't keep complaining? First of all, do not concentrate too much on yourself. Instead, also extend yourself an attitude, including your gratitude to others. Appreciate them. Say thank you. Say excuse me. Say can I? Apologize. Look at them in the face. Also, add your own diplomatic language. Learn how to say a few things in a nice way. And most of all, even the way you dress, as appropriately as it can be. So that you are never on the extreme. So that when other people are looking east, you're looking west. When they are going north, you're going south. When they are saying cap, you are saying jump. So that they can each feel that they are part of you and you can also feel that you are part of them. Human beings are social animals. We want to be part of you. Be a part of us.